Chag Sameach, everybody. A Freilichen Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah. All of the Hanukkah wishes. We're so happy that you're able to join us here this evening. Hanukkah is an extraordinary holiday because it celebrates light in all of its forms. So on the coldest, I know it's not so cold here, but on the coldest and darkest nights of the year, usually in the deep depths of December, we have the opportunity to kindle lights of Hanukkah and to celebrate miracles. To celebrate miracles in all of their forms, miracles of the Maccabees, which is the story of Hanukkah, miracles of the candle, the oil for the menorah burning for 8 nights when there was only enough for one, but also the miracles that are all around us, and more importantly in this particular year of 2020, when things have felt so dark and so difficult. It is so important to look around us and to see the light that surrounds us, the light from above, the light from candles, and the light, most importantly, that shines outwards from each one of us and hopefully shines onto others. So with that, we have prepared a wonderful evening of music. We've had a great time setting this up for you. And it's a really eclectic combination of music, and what brings it all together is the celebration of light. The light within me, the light within you, the light of the Chanukiah, and the light of this world. So happy Hanukkah.
How lucky are we that we have a light so that we can see, although the day is done. What a miracle that a spark lights these candles out of the dark. Every evening, one by one, till the end of Hanukkah, with the jingle bells and the toys, and the TV shows and the noise. It's easy to forget at the end
So you just heard a fabulous song by the Bare Naked Ladies, and it was from Bare Naked for the Holidays, which was a holiday-themed studio album released by the Bare Naked Ladies on October 5th in 2004. This next song is particularly special to me. It was written by my teacher, my friend, Debbie Friedman. She was a true light, a source of inspiration, a beacon of hope, of truth, of joy. She brought so much love, so much light into this world, into my life, into so many of our lives. And it's always a joy to be able to share her music with others.
Oh, hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Oh, hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Oh, hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Oh, hear my prayer to you.
These next two songs we chose to put into this evening because they speak of rainbows. And really, what is a rainbow if not refracted light into the most beautiful and essential form, into the promise and the covenant that God made with the people of Israel during the time of Noah and the great flood, an enormous disaster. And the next day, there was a dove, and there was an olive branch, and there was hope. So rainbows for me have always represented hope and light and miracles. So the first song that we're going to be doing is one that I'm sure you're familiar with, Over the Rainbow. And it was written by Harold Arlen, who was the son of a cantor, and Yip Harburg, who was the youngest of 4 Jewish children born to Russian Jewish immigrants. And when the two of them got together to write this song, I think that something magical happened. And they put into words and into music that which every Jew in the world knows to be true, which is that we can transcend the most difficult of times, the darkest of days, the darkest of nights, that we will overcome that darkness with the light that we can find surrounding us, with the light from each other, and with the light from in ourselves. Perhaps most importantly, we know that we can believe that because we have each other to lean on. The second song in our rainbow set is Rainbow Connection. And Rainbow Connection was written for the 1979 The Muppet movie, and it was written by Paul Williams and Kenneth Asher. And of course, it was performed by Kermit the Frog. I don't pretend that I will be able to do it as much justice as the green frog of all frogs, but I'll try my best. William said that his very favorite lyrics that he wrote in this song are from the verse, "Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on a morning star?" Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it, and look what it's done so far. And he explained that the reason that he loves that lyric so much is because they imply that there is always so much power in your thoughts. And so if you are experiencing darkness, if you are experiencing a particularly difficult year, as I know we all are, just remember how powerful your thoughts are, how powerful the flickering candles of the Chanukiah are, because they really serve to remind us of who we know we are inside.
When all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic lane. When all the clouds darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found, leading from your window pane to a place behind the sun, just a step beyond the rain. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why, then oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh why can't I? Why are there so many songs about rainbows? and what's on the other side. Rainbows are visions, but only illusions, and rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star? Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? And what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under its spell. We know that it's probably magic. Have you been half asleep? And have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that calls the young sailors? The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. La 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 la.
Okay, this next song was written by Tom Lehrer, and it was released in 2000, featured on his album, The Rest of Tom Lehrer, and it is just pure fun. And what is the kind of pure fun that we all have on Hanukkah, aside from eating ridiculously oily, greasy food? And that is playing Dreidel. So I just wanted to review, in case you needed to review the rules of Dreidel, let's review some Dreidel. So, okay, let's see what we have in here. We have an Israeli Dreidel. This is exciting. Okay, so Israeli Dreidel. Nun for Nes. Gimel for Gadol. Hey for Haya. Hey for Po, meaning a great miracle happened here. That's what you'd say if you lived in Israel. And this one, I think. Yep. Okay. This is an American / diaspora Dreidel. Here we go. Nes. Gadol. Haya, Sham, meaning a great miracle happened there, over here. The miracle happened in Israel. All right, so we're going to try to, spin. All right, let's see what happens here. Ha-ha! Success. Hey for half. I'll go halvesies with you. Here's the halvesies. I'll sing a song. You'll watch the song. Perfect.
I'm spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica, wearing sandals, lighting candles by the sea. I spent Shavuos in East St. Louis, a charming spot, but clearly not the spot for me. Those eastern winters, I can't endure 'em, so every year I pack my gear and come out here to Purim. Rosh Hashanah, I spend in Arizona, and Yom Kippur way down in Mississippi. But in December, there's just one place for me, amid the California floor. spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica by the sea.
This next piece is called Stillelecht and was written by Lazar Weiner. He put to music the words of the poet Manny Leib Brahinsky, and it is a beautiful poem and a beautiful setting. And I wanted you to know the words because it is a poem that is written and sung in Yiddish. Quiet candles and quiet eyes, lips pious, hushed. Bent before the quiet candles, she whispers a prayer. Quiet words of prayer. The flames can scarcely hear them. God, if he is not destined for me, you will destine him for me. I will bear him children, pure, honest, and fine. My children will have black eyes like his, and he will sit and study Torah. He will be renowned. Will you destine this, good Creator? Will you destine it? Amen. This next piece is called Baruch Ata, and Solomon Golub set this poem that was written by the famous Yiddish labor movement poet Avraham Raisin to this beautiful and very simplistic setting. And it is a poem about a child watching their father light the Hanukkah candles after a difficult day of work, after a difficult lifetime, one could say, of struggling, but of the beauty of the simplicity of being able to carry out the mitzvah of lighting the Chanukiah. Baruch Ata, worshipped are you, the Father sings as he lights the candles, and the mild, delicate light falls upon his pale face. A fire that's precious and holy shines in his eyes, and this stooped, tired man stands erect. And it seems to me, and we believe it, there still is something here. There remains much to love. The hour is a holy one. Old sounds long forgotten, but no, they are still resounding. Sing, Father, Baruch Ata, I am still your child.
in die Augen leicht und Mieder mit der Glieder hat sich ausgegleicht. Und es dacht sich und es tracht sich, sie ist noch etwas da. Sie ist geblieben, was zu leben, heilig ist die Schau. Alle Tage klangen lang vergangen, nein, es klingt noch erzählt. Tate, Boruch Ate, und ich bleib dein Kind. Boruch Ate, singt der Tate, und erzieht die Licht, und die Strahlen will die fallen auf sein blass Gesicht. Und auf Feier, heilig Teier, in die Augen leicht, und mit der Glieder hat sich ausgekleidet. Und es dacht sich, und es tracht sich, sie ist noch etwas da. Sie ist geblieben, was zu leben, heilig ist die Schau. Alte Klangen, lang vergangen, nein, es klingt noch erzählt. Sing Jetate, Boruch Ate, und ich bleib
This next song, Light, was introduced to me by Carol Fantel, who's been working as the music director on a musical called La Dottoressa, which is currently in development. Written by Maddie Selman, a New York playwright, lyricist, and composer, this new musical is based on the life and work of feminist, scientist, educator, mother, and advocate for world peace, Maria Montessori. And it presents Montessori's idea that education brings important and essential light into the lives of children, and therefore everyone. This idea is one that is near and dear to Judaism. This idea that we pass the light from generation to generation through education. That the first taste of Torah for any child in Cheder is supposed to be one that is sweet as honey, so that we know that the light of Torah, that the light of tradition is one that shines with sweetness and with joy.
Darkness doesn't solely live at night. Darkness is much more. It is something lacking light. And light, since the moment we are born, is a path we seek to find. For the darkness that we fear is the darkness of the mind. Light, nurturing and warm, take me in your arms, weathering the storm. Light, nurturing and warm, take me in your arms, weathering the storm, navigating night. Children evolve through senses, this is the way they grow. Each child deserves her destiny. Some will say yes, some will say no, but strong
every evening we say the Shema, and we say a blessing that accompanies it, the Ma'ariv Aravim blessing. And in that particular blessing, we hear these words, Golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, that God rolls light away from darkness and darkness from the light. And we remind ourselves every night when the darkness comes that the morning is just ahead. We pray the beautiful words of the Hashkivenu prayer to be kept safe throughout the night because we know that darkness is difficult. We know that it is scary, and we know that in times of darkness, both literal and figuratively, we have a tendency to almost lose hope. Another reason why we celebrate Hanukkah in the middle of December, in the middle of the darkest days of the year, sometimes we need a little reminder. Sometimes we need the glow of a beautiful Hanukkah to remind us that there will always be morning. Tomorrow is always going to come, and with it, a renewed sense of hope and a renewed sense of promise. Okay, it's time for a pop quiz. So, back in the days of the Talmud, we have two rabbis, Hillel and Shammai, and they each have their own school of disciples. Hillel and Shammai argued all the time, and one of the things that they argued about was, how does one appropriately light the Chanukiah to celebrate Hanukkah? So, here's the quiz. Who won, Hillel or Shammai? Shammai said that you light all 8 candles and then you decrease every night so that you begin with 8 and then you go to 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 until on the last night you have 1. And Hillel said that you begin with 1 light, you light it left to right, and then you increase the light so that the light of the holiday and the joy of the holiday is increased every night until the 8th night when you have a full Chanukiah. Do you know the answer? I'm sure you know the answer. But this next song will help you along if you forget how to light your menorah.
Tonight we light the Chanukah candles from left to right. 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 Just want to light the rest. All around the world, people gather on this day. A miracle has happened, so we light a candle and say, tonight we light the Chanukah candles from left to right. I said tonight we light the Chanukah candles from left to right. I said tonight.
This next song was recorded by American country music singer Thomas Rhett, And when he recorded it, it featured guest vocals from Reba McEntire and Hillary Scott and Chris Tomlin and Keith Urban. It was just released on March 30th, 2020, and he said that he wrote the song in 2019, but he chose to release it in 2020 because he thought that its message would be well received during the coronavirus pandemic, and I couldn't agree more. So what he told Billboard when he was interviewed was that this song is really just about being a light in a dark place, about being encouragement to people. So I can't really think of a better song, and how fun to be able to bring a modern country song from that genre into our Hanukkah celebration.
In a time full of war, be peace. In a time full of doubt, just believe. Yeah, there ain't that much difference between you and me. In a time full of war, be peace. In a world full of hate, be alive. When you do somebody wrong, make it right. Oh, don't hide in the dark. You were born to shine. In a world full of hate, be alive. La la la.
A little information you may or may not know about the lights of the Chanukiah, about the candles that we burn for all 8 nights on Hanukkah. So in Masechet Sofrim, we learn that these lights are holy and we are not permitted to make use of their light. We may only gaze upon them. We place our Chanukiahs not in our kitchens and not in our libraries and not in our bedrooms, but we place them right out in front of our homes, usually right in the front window, for everybody to be able to see, so that passersby may experience the glow, may experience the love and the aura, and really the beauty. It's the beauty that people are supposed to take in from the menorah. We can't read from this light. We can only enjoy what the light tells our soul, which is to rejoice in every miracle that you can possibly find to rejoice in. And this one is by Jeff Klepper and Dan Freelander. Another year, another Hanukkah.
Winter is here, it's dark outside. We're blessing the candles, glowing with pride. They bring us warmth, they bring us light on a cold winter night. Lighting a candle, saying a prayer, trying to warm the cold winter air. Children singing with delight on a cold winter night. When the days are short and your spirits are low, you can feel the heat from the candle glow. Because it's Hanukkah, gather round the candlelight. Another year, another Hanukkah. Keep the dream of freedom in your sight. Wish your friends a happy Hanukkah. Shining lights to keep us strong. Another year, another Hanukkah. Light a candle, love and sing along. Struggle and wonder if freedom will win. Fight against darkness for light to come in. Voices together, kindle these lights on a cold winter night. But the days are short and we have only begun to bring the light of freedom to everyone. And now it's Hanukkah, gather round the candlelight. Another year, another Hanukkah. Keep the dream of freedom in your sight. Wish your friends a happy Hanukkah. Shining lights to keep us strong. Another year, another Hanukkah. Light a candle, come and sing along. Another year, another Hanukkah. Light a candle, come and sing along.
So I want to take a moment to introduce our awesome band and our team that made this Hanukkah concert possible. So on piano, we have Carol Fantel, and on drums, we have Roy Fantel, and helping to mix our music and with all of our sound is Ray Rivard. And I am Cantor Shira Ginsburg from East End Temple, and we have had the best time putting this together for you, Hanukkah in the Tiki Bar. And I'd like to give a special shout out to the Mansours for lending us their fabulous Tiki Bar so that we could film this Hanukkah special for you. And now, some Hanukkah classics. I invite you, as always, to sing along, sing your hearts out.
Hanukkah, Hanukkah, Yantif Hashener, a lustig ja freilich in het Nachen Zener, alle Nachten Dreidel spielt und mir, so de Käses lat is erst on a Schir, geschwinder, 10 Kinder, die diene Lied Telefon, singt alle Israel אותן ויבנה הן בכל דור יקום הגיבור גואל העם ממלל גבורות ישראל אותן ויבנה הן בכל דור יקום הגיבור גואל העם שמע בימים ההם בזמן הזה מכבי מושיע ופודה ובימינו כל עם ישראל יתאחד יקום להיגאל מי ימלל גבורות ישראל אותן Hanukkah, סביבו, so, 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 חג שמחה ולעם, נס גדול היה שם, נס גדול היה שם, חג שמחה ולעם, סביבו, so, 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 חנוכה הוא חג טוב, חנוכה הוא חג טוב, סביבו, so, 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 חג שמחה ולעם, נס גדול היה שם, נס גדול היה שם, חג שמחה ולעם. I have a little dreidel, I made her out of clay, and when she is dry and ready, oh, dreidel, I shall play. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made you out of clay. When you're dry and ready, oh, dreidel, I shall play. Hallel, Kuros Yisrael, Oitani, Vekor, Yaakov, Hakor, Goel, Chag Sameach, everybody.